In every video game that exists today, there is also a set of rules that the player base has come up with. Now, these aren't bannable rules per se, they are just ones that the player base has deemed to be a common courtesy, and Apex Legends is no exception and has its own set of unwritten rules. So, hello everyone, I'm your hostess with the mostest, 8 Second Gaming, and in today's video, we're going to be going over 8 of those unwritten rules. But first, if you guys are here and looking to massively improve your Apex skills, then you need to check out the GameLeap website. Over there, we have some of the best coaches that Apex has to offer, dropping knowledge bombs left, right, and center, all so that you can become the best player you can possibly be. And no matter what you're struggling with, we will have a solution for you. So if you're looking to climb into Diamond, Masters, or even Predator, click the link in the description, pick yourself up a membership, or I'll steal all your hoodies. Okay, but now with that out of the way, let's hop back into these rules. And to kick things off, let's talk about rule number 1, not dropping with your team. If someone pings a building, that means that they are landing there. That isn't them saying where everyone should go, that's just a way of them letting the team know, hey, when I land, I'll be in this area. So if you end up getting in trouble and need to fall back, you know where your teammate is because you know the general area of where they landed in. If you were to land in the same building as your teammate, you are then fighting for loot, and both of you and your teammate won't be as set to fight if another team tries to push you. Always make sure that you're breaking off when skydiving, going to your own spot and picking up your own loot, and also be pinging your own drop location so your team knows where you are. Now moving into rule number 2 though, this is spam pinging. I think we have all dealt with this one. Someone on the team goes down and then here comes the spam pings. They just ping the crap out of someone. If you're this type of player, please stop. It's more annoying than anything. I know that you may think that you're helping, but you really aren't. The sound of the pings plus your character's voice lines are blocking what little footstep sound we have in Apex, and it's making it a lot harder to fight. When you go down, ping once. If they move to a completely new spot, then you can ping again. But spamming the pings is just unnecessary, and all it accomplishes is annoying your team. Now moving into rule number 3, this is to funnel the gold loot. There are few items in this game that are technically best in slot. Most characters can get away running whatever they want. However, this rule does not apply with the gold items that are kicking around. Some of them are actually best on certain characters, and it's always best to funnel them to said characters. If you find, say, a gold bag, that's heading straight to a lifeline, Gibraltar, or Newcastle. Did you get a gold knockdown shield? Well, Newcastle needs that so that he can get the buffed res shield. Gold helmet, Pathfinder, Wraith, Caustic, just anyone with a long tactical cooldowns. If needed, you can pass it around later for ultimate charging. And gold armor should always be on an offensive character, someone who won't really be poking, and if they fight, it's an all-in situation. They need the gold armor to heal up and be back in the fight as quickly as possible. But now, keeping with the gold theme, let's talk about rule number 4, and that's drop batteries when you have gold armor. Gold armor makes healing with shield cells insanely fast, and while it's still slightly faster to use a battery, they are always best to be shared with your team, especially if you all don't have many to begin with. Now, if your team is absolutely schlooted and they have a bunch already, then you can keep a stack to yourself. But for the most part, and a general rule of thumb, it is best to share with your team, so that in fights, your allies can then heal faster as well and continue to be helping in them. But now we have to talk about rule number 5, and that is looting kills. We all love to loot death boxes. It's one of the best parts of the game, taking the spoils of war from slain enemies. It's super satisfying. But if you weren't the one to kill the enemy, you do not have first dibs on that box. The one that killed them is the person who gets to grab their stuff first. In said fight, the person who killed them may have used a bunch of ammo or meds or other items that they need to replenish from that death box. But if a teammate runs up and takes all that loot, then they might not have anything to help with come the next fight. Just wait until they go to the box, finish looting, and then leave. Then you can check it out. However, if you are the one that does upwards of say 80% of the damage to someone and you're reloading and then your teammate takes the kill, then that loot is still free game. This rule is if you didn't really damage the enemy at all, just leave the loot alone. And because I like death boxes, let's talk about rule number 6, teammates death boxes. Sometimes teammates die in fights. Actually, who are we kidding? Most of the time teammates die in fights. It's just part of the game. But one of the worst things as someone who's coming back is watching your teammate run over to your death box and slurp up all your loot. This is probably the most important unwritten rule of them all. But don't touch your teammate's box. It's annoying, unnecessary, and causes more issues than solves. The only reason you should be touching your teammate's box is if they have an armor swap that you need mid-fight. Then it's okay, but if the fight is over and you're just snagging stuff from their box, you're the drama. Now let's talk about rule number 7 though, and that is legend selection. Now, in some games, you can be last pick, and even though you hover your desired legend, sometimes someone on your team may take them. If that's the case, just play another legend, don't leave the game. Now, I have to admit, I used to do this, but I was grinding kill leaderboards and didn't want to waste a game on a random legend. But I would always ask if I could have said legend and also hover them, so I did try my best. Because of that though, I don't get mad if people leave, but the vast majority of the player base is not like me and they will get mad at you. So don't leave them, just stick it out, play the game, and even if you don't do well, it's better for the team because they have a full 3 stack. I know not playing your main isn't the ideal situation, but it's just kind of something that you have to deal with every now and then. And now we can talk about rule number 8, and that is not hogging the crafter. The crafting stations only have 3 slots, and you know how many people are on a team? That's right, 3. I get that you may have a bunch of items that you need to craft, but other people on the team need to use those slots as well sometimes. So if your entire team is needing to craft, then you should only really be using 1 slot at a time. If someone finishes and you still need to make more, then you can take that extra slot. But you are just causing everyone to wait longer if you snag all the crafting spots because now they're just waiting for you to finish before they can do anything. But all of these are things that if you're able to get down, your teammates will absolutely love you. You will be the one that they tell their friends about, that they brag saying, hey, look at this guy that I got into a game with, and you will have a much better time playing the game. It is a really good feeling to be the type of player that everyone wants on their team. But now I want to pass it over to you guys. Are there any unwritten rules that you followed that I missed? Let me know, drop them in the comments, let's see what people think. But with all this being said guys, I really hope that you enjoyed this video and learned something new. If you did and you want to stay up to date with the latest and greatest Apex Legends tips, tricks, and news, don't forget to smash that like and subscribe button. Thank you all for watching. Once again, I'm 8 Second Gaming and I will see you in the next one.